Management as an art, science profession.
Tomorrow's the interview. I'm so nervous.
Young lady, this job requires you to take quick decisions. Think fast on your feet and always be calm and collected. Do you have it in you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then demonstrate and tell me whether management is an art, science or profession.
Right away, sir.
Is management a science? Science is characterized by the following main features. Universal acceptance principles. Scientific principles may be applied in all situations, at all times, and at all places. Similarly, management also contains some fundamental principles which can be applied universally. Example: the principle of unity of command. That is, one man, one boss. This principle is applicable to all types of organizations, business or non-business. Second, experimentation and observation. Scientific principles are derived through scientific investigation and research. That is, they are based on logic. Management principles are also based on scientific inquiry and observation. They have been developed through experiments and practical experiences of a large number of managers. Example: it is observed that fair remuneration to personnel helps in creating a satisfied workforce. Third, cause and effect relationship. Principles of science lay down cause and effect relationship between various variables. For example, when metals are heated, they expand. The same is true for management. For example, it is a general observation that when the workforce is treated as well as paid well in the form of salary and bonus, it adds to their work efficiency, thereby increasing the productivity of the organization. Thus, it establishes a cause and effect relationship. Fourth, test of validity and predictability. Validity of scientific principles can be tested at any time or any number of times. That is, they stand the test of time. Moreover, future events can be predicted with reasonable accuracy by using scientific principles. Similarly, the principles of management can also be tested for their validity. Example: unity of command can be tested by making a comparison with regards to clarity of thought and direction between two persons, one answerable to a single boss and another answerable to more than one. Thus, it is observed that principles of science, namely, universally accepted principles, experimentation and observation, cause and effect relationship, test of validity and predictability are true in case of management also. However, since management deals with human beings and human behavior, the outcomes of these experiments are not capable of being accurately predicted or replicated. Therefore, management can be called an inexact science.
This was very interesting, but convince me that management is a profession.
Sure.
Management as a profession. Let us list the attributes of a profession. First, specialized knowledge. A profession must have a systematic body of knowledge that can be used for development of professionals. Every professional must make deliberate effort to acquire expertise in the principles and techniques. Similarly, a manager must have devotion and involvement to acquire expertise in the science of management. Second, formal education and training. There are a number of institutes and universities to impart education and training for a profession. For example, a CA cannot audit the accounts unless he has acquired a degree or diploma for the same. But a degree in management is not mandatory by law, though it is always an added advantage. Third, social obligations. Profession is a source of livelihood, but professionals are primarily motivated by the desire to serve society. Actions of professionals are influenced by social norms and values. Similarly, a manager is responsible not only to his superiors, but also to society. Therefore, he is expected to provide quality goods at reasonable prices to society. Fourth, code of conduct. Members of a profession have to abide by a code of conduct which contains certain rules and regulations, norms of honesty, integrity, and special ethics. A code of conduct is enforced by a representative association to ensure self-discipline among its members. Any member violating the code of conduct can be punished and his membership can be withdrawn. The All India Management Association, AIMA, has prescribed a code of conduct for managers, but it has no right to take legal action against any manager who violates it. Fifth, representative association. For the regulation of a profession, the existence of a representative body is a must. For example, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India establishes and administers standards of competence for auditors. However, AIMA does not have any statutory powers to regulate the activities of managers. However, it is argued that a profession cannot develop without research into the nature of the discipline with which the profession is concerned. In light of developments taking place, management is undergoing the process of professionalization by acquiring some of the characteristics of a fully developed profession. The AIMA has prescribed a code of conduct for managers, but it has no right to take legal action against any manager who violates it. They are as follows. formal education to degree level, existence and strengthening of professional organizations, foundation and development of professional literature, increased research activities supplying the discipline with new theoretical frameworks, new knowledge to deal with issues of technological development affecting the work of organizations, and effective management of their records. In addition, research activities are important and necessary if a profession is to continue developing and maintaining its status. In the case of management, this is indeed taking place now. From the above discussion, it is quite clear that management fulfills several essentials of a profession. Even then, it is not a full-fledged profession because it does not restrict the entry in managerial jobs. No minimum qualifications have been prescribed for managers. No management association has the authority to grant a certificate of practice to various managers. All managers are supposed to abide by the code formulated by AIMA. Competent education and training facilities do not exist. Managers are responsible to many groups such as shareholders, employees, and society. A regulatory code may curtail their freedom. Managers are known by their performance and not mere degrees. The ultimate goal of business is to maximize profit and not social welfare. That is why Hames has rightly remarked, the slogan for management is becoming, "He who serves best also profits most." Management is an art. Management is an art in the sense that within these confines and strictures, there is great scope for the use of creativity, imagination, initiative, and invention within the overall sphere of the occupation. The scientific methods and body of knowledge referred to must be applied in their own way to each and any given situation, issue, or problem. In management, creativeness is required. Skills and techniques describe the art of management. Practical knowledge. Every art requires practical knowledge. Therefore, it is very important to know practical application of theoretical principles. For example, in order to become a good dancer, a person should have knowledge of the art and the various nrityas, etc., to use them appropriately. Similarly, a manager should also know how to apply various principles in real situations in his capacity as a manager, instead of merely relying on his degree or diploma. Personal skill. Although the theoretical base may be same for every artist, each one has his own style and mode of interpretation. Example, there are several dancers, but Yamini Krishnamurthy is noted for her style and grace. Similarly, management as an art is also personalized. Every manager has his own way of managing things based on his knowledge, experience, and personality. Which is why some managers are highly effective, while others are not so effective. Creativity. Every artist has an element of creativity, which is why he aims at producing something that has never existed before. This requires a combination of intelligence and imagination. Management is also creative in nature since it combines human and non-human resources in a useful way so as to achieve desired results. Perfection through practice. Every artist becomes more and more proficient through constant practice. Similarly, managers learn through an art of trial and error initially, but application of management principles over the years makes them perfect in the job of managing. Goal-oriented. Every art is result-oriented as it seeks to achieve concrete results. Management is also directed towards accomplishment of predetermined goals. Managers use various resources like men, money, material, machinery, and methods to promote growth in an organization. The following are some of the activities in management in which art is being applied. Managers compete for resources against all other organizations with the appropriate skills and techniques. Managers must make only what creates overwhelming value. Managers must reward those who deserve it. Buy what else you need and relabel it, pun intended. Mix internal and external products to increase your value. Retain employees by being successful. Management is an art because it requires defining a new way of looking at the nature of organizations, nature of work, nature of information, and the interrelationships thereof. Therefore, art will always have a part in the definition of management. To surface and question the assumptions underlying the given truths.
Young lady, you were fabulous. That was quick thinking. You are selected.
Thank you, sir.
Management like thought can be traced back to Sumerian traders and to the builders of the pyramids of ancient Egypt. The spread of Arabic numerals, 5th to 15th centuries, and the codification of double-entry bookkeeping, 1494, provided tools for management assessment, planning, and control. Adam Smith's The Wealth of Nations, written in 1776 by Adam Smith, a Scottish moral philosopher, The Wealth of Nations aimed for efficient organization of work through specialization of labor. Smith described how changes in processes could boost productivity in the manufacture of pins. While individuals could produce 200 pins per day, Smith analyzed the steps involved in manufacture and, with 10 specialists, enabled production of 48,000 pins per day. Sun Tzu's The Art of War, written by Chinese general Sun Tzu in the 6th century BC. The Art of War is a military strategy book that for managerial purposes recommends being aware of and acting on strengths and weaknesses of both a manager's organization and a force. Niccolo Machiavelli, the Prince. Believing that people were motivated by self-interest, Niccolo Machiavelli wrote The Prince in 1531 as advice for the leadership of Florence, Italy. Machiavelli recommended that leaders use fear, but not hatred, to maintain control. Coordination is the act of coordinating, making different people or things work together for a goal or effect. Management seeks to achieve coordination through its basic functions of planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Coordination through planning. Planning facilitates coordination by integrating the various plans through mutual discussions and exchange of ideas. Example: coordination between finance budget and purchases budget. Coordination through organizing. When a manager groups and assigns various activities to subordinates, and when he creates departments coordination uppermost in his mind. Coordination through staffing. A manager should bear in mind that the right number of personnel in various positions with the right type of education and skills will ensure right men on the right job. Coordination through directing. The purpose of giving orders, instructions and guidance to subordinates is served only when there is harmony between superiors and subordinates. Coordination through controlling. Manager ensures that there should be coordination between actual performance and standard performance to achieve organizational goals. Coordination integrates group efforts. Coordination unifies unrelated or diverse interests into purposeful work activity. It gives a common focus to group effort to ensure that performance is as it was planned and scheduled. Coordination ensures unity of action. The purpose of coordination is to secure unity of action in the realization of a common purpose. It acts as the binding force between departments and ensures that all action is aimed at achieving the goals of the organization. Coordination is a continuous process. Coordination is not a one-time function, but a continuous process. It begins at the planning stage and continues till controlling. Coordination is an all-pervasive function. Coordination is required at all levels of management due to the interdependent nature of activities of various departments. It integrates the efforts of different departments and different levels. Coordination is the responsibility of all managers. Coordination is the function of every manager in the organization. Operational level management coordinates the activities of its workers to ensure that work proceeds according to plans. Top level managers need to coordinate with their subordinates to ensure that the overall policies for the organization are duly carried out. Middle level management coordinates with both the top level and the first line managers. Operational level management coordinates the activities of its workers to ensure that work proceeds according to plans. Coordination is a deliberate function. A manager has to coordinate the efforts of different people in a conscious and deliberate manner. Cooperation in the absence of coordination may lead to wasted effort, and coordination without cooperation may lead to dissatisfaction among employees. The Band-Aid was invented in 1920 by Earl Dixon, an employee of Johnson & Johnson, for his wife Josephine Dixon, who frequently cut and burned herself while cooking. The prototype product allowed his wife to dress her wounds without assistance. Dixon passed the idea on to his employer, who then went on to produce and market the product as Band-Aid. Dixon had a successful career at Johnson & Johnson, eventually becoming a vice president at the company, before his retirement in 1957. The first bandages produced were handmade and not very popular. By 1924, Johnson & Johnson introduced the first machine that produced sterilized Band-Aids.